I want to thank all of you very much for being with us, for being part of a celebration of which the Cotton Bowl Athletic Association is very proud, because these men represent all the best things, not only about the Cotton Bowl Classic, but about this game. And this parade of legends continues today.
On January 1st, 2001 in Dallas, Texas, there was one thing on my mind that day. A feeling I will never forget is the pride, the honor, and privilege it was to take the field at the Cotton Bowl with my teammates.
If you want it bad enough, and if you have desire and passion and love, anything is possible.
But this game was so special to me in a lot of ways. It changed my life. It has truly been inspirational to get to be a part of this team I'm sitting with up here today, and all the others that have been inducted before.